in another culture, white is associated with death. So that's interesting. I said black, we associate it with death, but it's also kind of can be very elegant and formal and classy because of tuxedos and things like that. Blue is the most statistically, it's the most liked color in the palette. Um, Blue is very calming. Think about water and life. It's a very soothing color. A few interesting facts: blue actually suppresses appetite because it slows down your metabolism when you view it. So if you I think certain weight loss programs actually suggest eating your meals on a blue plate because you'll eat less. I think that's pretty interesting. It also says people are more productive in blue rooms. This is research that people have done on color psychology. So, for example, if you're painting your office, painting it blue or green, these are more active, creative colors. Also, weightlifters could actually lift more weight in blue rooms than in a white room, which I think is pretty. I think it's pretty cool. Because it's conversely to that, red actually stimulates your metabolism. It speeds up your heartbeat, and it will stimulate your appetite, and that's why it's the most noticeable color. But because of these things it does to your metabolism, I don't know if you've noticed this, but start paying attention when you're driving around town. Just about every fast food restaurant that you see uses red in whether it's in their building or their logo. They use red in their color scheme. Most noticeably, McDonald's uses red and yellow because of the connotations with happiness with yellow, and red kind of stimulates your appetite. But start paying attention to these things. Also, if you pay attention to the colors of signs that are lit up, like at night, red is the most easily recognizable color during the day. That's the first one you see. At night, blue is actually the easiest color to see lit up. So if you notice, a lot of signs that are lit up at night are going to have blue lettering or blue background or something like that because it gets your attention. That's just a little tidbit for you. Yellow is happy, joy, but if it's overused, initially yellow makes you happy, but if you use too much of it, in yellow rooms, people have been shown to lose their temper and get angry a lot more often. And babies cry more in a yellow room. So if you have a nursery, you might not want to paint it yellow. Or if you have a yellow nursery and you have a baby that cries a lot, now you know why. So let's see what else. Green, an interesting thing about green, it actually improves reading ability. They've done studies where people who take a see-through green sheet and put it over the book page that they're reading, they actually remember more, they comprehend more, and they can read faster. So who knows? I thought that was pretty cool. Brown and green, with all the green initiatives going on right now, and being eco-friendly and all that, green and brown are very popular colors in graphic design. Brown, just because they have that symbolism of earthy tones and natural kind of things. So those are just some interesting things to think about with color psychology. Let's see if there's anything else I want to talk about. On 112, it talks about identifying forms. The first thing you notice about something is a form, whether it's a circle or a square. The second thing you notice is the color, and this is almost simultaneous in your brain. But a good example of that on 112, there's a blue circle and an orange circle, kind of an orange-yellow circle. And just looking at those, which one would you use to represent the Earth, and which one would you use to represent the sun? Obviously, the blue would be the Earth, and the orange would be the sun. And this is just, these are just things that happen instantly in your brain, but as a designer, we have to think about these things. And there's quiet on 112. Quiet written 3 times. One light blue on a darker blue background, which is very kind of subtle, like shh, be quiet. And then there's orange on a black background, which is kind of abrupt, like be quiet. You get these different feelings based on colors and their interactions with each other, which is just fascinating to me, as I've said. So that's pretty much all I want to say about that. This was kind of a short part of the chapter, but very important. So I want you to pay attention to this. In our assignment, we're going to play around with creating some color palettes and examining this color psychology. So your assignment has 2 parts, and I'll post this on Blackboard, obviously, as I normally do. But the first part of your assignment, we're going to create 4 color palettes. And when I say color palette, and this is, you can call them color families, color palettes, whatever you want to do. But when I say a color palette, I mean at least 4 colors, okay, within one color family, or 4 shades of colors, whatever it might be. But all these colors, they need to go together. They need to fit together. You might have to squint. You might have to look back and squint at them to see, do these really are harmonious? Do they really go together, or do they not fit? And it takes a little instinct, to understand this. So we're going to make 4 color palettes, each one having at least 4 colors in it. You can do more if you want to. And I want them to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Whenever you think of these words, I'm going to give you some examples for 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that's what I want your color palette to symbolize. The first one, I want you to think bright, vibrant, and energetic, something like that. And I want you to think of 4 colors that go together that will do that. And that might be, they might be very saturated colors, very, bright reds and greens, but, kind of almost pastel kind of colors. Second one, I want you to do a natural, kind of earthy, organic colors. Third one, elegant, classy, sophisticated, words like that. And then the fourth color palette, calm, serene, and soothing. So think about that and how I want you to put these color palettes together. If you have a computer and you're comfortable with a program where you can play with color manipulation, that kind of stuff, you're welcome to do it on a computer. If you don't, because this is it's an online class and this isn't a software class, so I'm not going to teach you how to use Photoshop, for example. But if you don't have access to that kind of stuff, then you can just kind of do some collaging from magazines. You can go look through magazines, look through ads, find a color that you like, cut out a square, and glue it to a piece of paper. Then keep on looking and find another color that kind of fits into that color family, whether it's a similar saturation or similar intensity. Both warm colors, red and orange go good together, for example. And put them right next to each other and see how they interact with each other. See if they fit together, and do that for each color until you have one color family of at least 4 colors, and then go on to the next one, and keep on doing that until you get your 4 color palettes. So you can either make it on computer, or you can cut out squares, put them together on a piece of paper, and you can put 1, 2, 3, 4 for one family, then 1, 2, 3, 4 for the second family. You can put them all on one page if you want to, and then scan it in and do it that way. So that's part 1 of the assignment. The second part of your assignment, I want you to find 2 ads in magazines, okay? And I want you to find the first ad. I want you to find one that uses strictly shades of red, or maybe red and orange, something like that. Mainly, where it's predominantly red in this color palette, okay? And the second one, I want you to find one where it's predominantly blue. And I use these 2 colors because those are very common in graphic design, and it'll probably be pretty easy for you to find good examples of this. So one that's predominantly red and one that's predominantly blue, using all shades of blue. And then I want you to examine these and think about it. And based on color psychology, like I said, you might want to get online and do a little more research about what these colors mean to people and how they're interpreted by the brain. But based on color psychology, I want you to examine why this color was used for this product, whatever they're selling. If it's lipstick, that they're selling and everything's red, why did they use that? What sort of feelings does it evoke, and how does the viewer experience that? And then, in your opinion, was it successful? Do you think they've accomplished what they were going for? Did they achieve the right feeling that they were trying to achieve? So those are the 2 parts. Create 4 color palettes, and then I want you to find 2 ads, scan them in, and write a paragraph about each one of those ads. You don't have to write anything for the color palettes, just create the color palettes, and those will kind of speak for themselves. That's pretty much all we got for color. Like I said, this is one of my favorite topics, but we're going to move on to typography next week, which is a huge topic. And it's people don't pay enough attention to typography and its placement and color and size and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to talk about that. All right, so I'll see you soon.